You pride yourself on being a highly logical, rational thinker. You genuinely believe that when you step into an argument to aggressively correct someone's flawed logic, you are doing them a massive favor. You think you are proving your elite intelligence and bringing objective truth to a chaotic room. Let me completely shatter your ego right now. You are not being a confident leader, and you are absolutely not educating anyone. You are falling directly into a massive, highly destructive biological trap. Every single time you exhaust yourself trying to correct an average mind, you are actively destroying your own central nervous system. Modern society has heavily brainwashed you into believing that speaking up and winning debates is the ultimate hallmark of a strong, assertive alpha male. That is a highly profitable illusion designed to keep you permanently distracted and exhausted. The compulsive need to correct people you don't even respect is not a display of power. It is a severe symptom of deep internal fragility. By the end of this uncompromising psychological breakdown, I am going to clinically dissect exactly why your desperate need to have the last word is completely draining your cognitive battery. More importantly, I will hand you the exact classified Stoic framework the elite uses to completely detach from pointless arguments, protect their highly valuable mental energy, and absolutely dominate any room through passive, calculated observation. Listen to me very carefully, because your specific neuroplastic window to fix this massive psychological vulnerability is closing faster than you realize. Every single day you choose to engage in useless debates with closed-minded people, you are permanently wiring your brain to remain a highly reactive, insecure slave to external validation. The biological damage of constantly defending your intellect compounds aggressively hour by hour. If you choose to click off this video right now, you are consciously electing to remain highly predictable social prey forever. Master this brutal clinical truth today and build your impenetrable stoic fortitude, or permanently surrender your mental peace to the chaotic noise of average minds. The trap of being right. Let us completely divorce ourselves from emotion and clinically analyze the exact neurobiology of being right. Why does winning a trivial argument feel so incredibly urgent in the moment? When you hear someone state a completely incorrect fact or present a highly flawed strategy, your brain immediately registers an error in the matrix. Your primitive amygdala desperately wants to correct this error to restore order, releasing a tiny, highly addictive microdose of dopamine when you successfully deliver your logical comeback. However, this is a catastrophic mathematical trade. You are willingly trading your highly valuable cognitive glucose, the exact same high-level neural energy required for deep work, building your empire, and executing complex strategies, for a cheap, fleeting chemical hit of superiority. You are redlining your mental engine to win a race that absolutely does not matter. The biological trap of being right is that it requires massive amounts of frontal lobe processing to structure a bulletproof argument, but it yields absolutely zero tangible return on investment. You spend 2 hours meticulously explaining economic principles or personal boundaries to a skeptic, and what do you get in return? Your heart rate is elevated, your cortisol levels are permanently spiked, your focus for the rest of the day is completely shattered, and the other person still entirely disagrees with you. You literally paid them with your vital life force to disrespect your time. Why average minds will never understand. You must accept a brutally cold psychological reality today. Average minds are biologically hardwired to reject any objective data that threatens their carefully constructed worldview. This is not a matter of intelligence. It is a strict survival mechanism known as cognitive dissonance. When you aggressively present a highly analytical, undeniable fact that contradicts their deeply held beliefs, their brain does not process your words as helpful education. Their primitive operating system processes your logic as a literal, physical attack on their identity. This is exactly why your highly structured arguments fail every single time. You are attempting to run a massive, complex software update on a completely broken, outdated computer system. It will violently crash, and they will immediately resort to emotional manipulation, moving the goalposts, or launching ad hominem attacks against your character. They do not care about the objective truth. They care strictly about ego preservation. When you stubbornly stay in the ring trying to force them to see your perspective, you are insulting your own intelligence. You are bleeding out your mental energy trying to convince a wall to move. True Stoic thinkers understand that you absolutely cannot logic someone out of a position they didn't logic themselves into. The moment you realize they are protecting their ego rather than seeking the truth, your only mathematically correct move is to completely withdraw your data. You will absolutely never hear this raw, unfiltered truth from mainstream communication coaches or modern self-help gurus. The algorithm actively profits from your constant, exhausting engagement in online debates and public arguments. They desperately need you to remain highly reactive, constantly triggered, and permanently seeking to prove your point. The tactical framework of absolute detachment is a heavily guarded, classified secret that elite negotiators, high-level CEOs, and Stoic masters use to entirely protect their cognitive bandwidth. If you miss this exact psychological architecture today, you will remain easily baitable and highly exploitable in every interaction you have. Wake up and claim your cognitive leverage right now. How arguing signals deep internal weakness. Let us ruthlessly analyze the psychology of the man who simply cannot let a false statement slide. You know exactly who this is. He is the guy who always has to interject with "well, actually," and aggressively steer the conversation to prove his intellectual dominance. He genuinely thinks he is projecting massive authority. In clinical reality, he is broadcasting a massive, pathetic signal of deep internal weakness to the entire room. He is using his loud, overbearing logic as a completely transparent human shield to protect a highly fragile, deeply insecure ego. If you truly possess a high-level, dominant intellect, why are you begging an average person to acknowledge it? A truly wealthy man does not show you his bank account balance to prove he has money. A truly untouchable, high-performing mind requires absolutely zero external permission or validation to know that its strategy is correct. When you desperately fight to win an argument, you are biologically handing the other person the ultimate authority to judge your reality. You are saying, "I do not feel smart unless you admit that I am smart." That is the absolute peak of submission. You are acting like a panicked prey animal performing a complex dance to beg for the tribe's approval. Mystery and silence are deeply intimidating. When you flatly refuse to correct someone, people cannot predict your intellect. By simply keeping your mouth completely shut, you immediately upgrade your status from a desperate, needy participant to an untouchable, silent observer. The secret advantage of letting people fail. You must completely reframe your understanding of social dynamics. Elite Stoic operators do not view a flawed argument as a threat. They view it as an incredibly valuable data extraction opportunity. This is the secret advantage of letting people fail. When someone in a meeting or a social gathering starts confidently speaking absolute nonsense, the average man gets triggered and immediately tries to correct them. The elite Stoic sits back in the shadows, maintains unbroken eye contact, and lets them talk. By refusing to interrupt, you allow the toxic or ignorant individual to completely expose their entire psychological blueprint. They willingly hand you all their sensitive data. You see their biases, you map their massive insecurities, and you understand exactly how easily manipulated they are. You are silently gathering high-level military intelligence without spending a single drop of your own cognitive fuel. Furthermore, letting someone confidently execute a terrible plan and face the brutal consequences of reality is the ultimate form of passive dominance. You do not need to warn them, you do not need to save them. You let the harsh architecture of the real world discipline them while your hands remain perfectly clean. This is the highest level of active detachment. You are no longer participating in the chaos, you are watching it from an impenetrable fortress. The strict mathematical cost of your inability to walk away from arguments is absolute and devastating. Your pathetic, desperate need to be proven right is actively destroying your stoic potential and severely draining your masculine energy. Every single time you break your silence to correct an average mind, you compound your massive neurological debt. You will physically and financially pay for this profound weakness with a permanently exhausted brain, completely shattered focus, and absolutely zero genuine respect from your high-level peers. You have exactly one highly critical minute left to permanently reprogram this massive cognitive failure. If you actively ignore this clinical blueprint, your mind will remain a highly reactive, easily manipulated prison forever. Listen very closely to these final, highly tactical instructions. The Stoic protocol to protect your energy. You must absolutely build your silent cognitive shield starting today. You need to rapidly and aggressively cure your fragile ego and master the highly terrifying art of letting people be wrong. This is not a passive philosophical theory. This is a strict, undeniable biological protocol. Here is your exact clinical blueprint for tomorrow. When you hear someone confidently state a flawed opinion, a terrible strategy, or a direct insult to your intelligence, do absolutely nothing. Close your mouth. Maintain a cold, relaxed, entirely indifferent expression and let the words hit the floor and die. Do not offer a sarcastic counterargument. Do not provide a perfectly structured logical breakdown. Simply say, "That is an interesting perspective," and completely disengage. Notice the massive, terrifying spike of pure adrenaline flooding your chest. Your weak, primitive ego will absolutely scream at you to jump in and defend your honor. Let that weak primal urge violently die right there in the dark. Endure the intense friction of being misunderstood. Step directly into the fire of the unsaid words. Let them walk away thinking they won the battle, while you quietly and efficiently win the entire war for your mental peace. Sit quietly with your own terrifying power. Realize that their absolute ignorance cannot pierce your physical vessel. Train your central nervous system to find absolute, unshakable ataraxia in the face of sheer stupidity. Your own complex, highly analytical mind is your ultimate impenetrable sanctuary. You do not owe anyone your precious logic, your highly valuable cognitive energy, or your free education. Let the loud, average masses completely exhaust themselves fighting over cheap illusions of status. You are busy building an unshakable, massive empire in the quiet shadows. You are fiercely protecting your cognitive battery at all costs. Master the art of detachment, weaponize your silence, build your absolute stoic shield, and you will become fundamentally untouchable today. Subscribe to successfully master your own primal psychology. Hit the bell icon right now to secure your mental leverage. Check the elite, highly classified resources in the pinned description below. Protect your powerful mind from the loud, incredibly weak crowd. Stop correcting average minds and become the undisputed master of your reality today.